the face of the representation of older adult services for the Center for Victims. Anita White is a beautiful person. And I'm not just saying that because she's here. She did write this for me to say, by the way. But no, she is. She's a lovely person. The Center for Victims is our #1 partner when we program, when we plan, when we address, and when we attack people that hurt our older population. And Anita's been one of the best persons that I've been able to work with. And I wish she could work for me directly, but we may have that conversation before the morning's over. So, Anita White.
I can say I've worked with the Center for Victims for, it's 20 years now. I'm also what they call a boomerang. I worked here, I left, and I came back. I came back because of the mission of the Center for Victims. I believe in that mission. And it's very much a partnership with these guys, the guys at the Center for Victims. We cannot do it alone. We work as a team. We are partners with AAA, the Area Agency on Aging. Part of my team also has a teammate that works with AAA. And so we go out and visit people in their homes, and then we tie them into resources that AAA is able to get for the people. When we go to court, this is my partner in crime, and I am very pleased to have a DA who is passionate about working with the population of older adults. It's not easy, because I will tell you, when you're working with someone that is 90 years old, they're very much set in their ways. And everything they see on TV, and they watch a lot of TV, that's not the way the court system works. So one of the things we try to tell them is, yeah, it's been 3 months, but no, we're not ready to take this into court yet. It's going to be a little while longer. So what we do is we work with them, make phone calls, find out resources, things that they need, and we try to keep them engaged. That means that we try to find out if anything else has gone wrong. If there are other resources that we need to associate them with while they're waiting for their case to come to court. So what I can say is, for the most part, all of the work that we do, it's a method of teamwork, and we can't do it without each other. We've been in existence for 45 years, but I can tell you the amount of times that I've gone out and talked to people, they still have not heard of the Center for Victims. So it's not like we're pasted all over a billboard somewhere. We are quietly doing the work that we do. But for the people that we do the work for, I can tell you that we do have very satisfied customers. And that's because of the work that we put in. And it is difficult to work with people, older adults, in fact, to let them know that the system we're working in, you don't always get the justice that you think that you would need to get, but we do the very best that we can. And for many people, when they leave, even if the verdict didn't come out as they said, as we thought it would, we have customers, clients who say, thank you for the work that you've done to try to get this through the court system. And that's the best thing that we can say, is that we do our best to work with the clients that we work with and to bring them some sort of justice. With the senior justice advocates, Cindy Carioli and Joe Giuffre, we were out this week. Cindy and I were out doing a presentation. And for the older adults that we worked with and the information, the questions that came up. With older adults, some of the things that you find with them, it's a different day. And we try to tell them it is a totally different day. Older adults were always of the mindset, when my phone rings, I answer it. It's rude not to answer it. But in this day and age, it's smart not to answer it. Let it go to voicemail if you don't recognize the number. The more you answer the phone and engage the person on the other end in conversation, sometimes the more money that you end up giving up through one of the frauds, scams that are out there. I try to let people know that understand this. This is their job. This is all these people do from the time they get up in the morning till the time they lay their head down at night, is try to separate you from your money. So you have to be on the lookout of what can you do to protect yourself. One of those things is when I mention teamwork, I let older adults know that don't isolate. If you have a neighbor, a friend you haven't seen for a while, or you see them and they're acting very strangely, try to engage them in conversation. Find out what that's about. A lot of times people have gotten involved in scams and they're too embarrassed to tell anyone that they have. I had a client who, $130,000 later, she was chasing a prize because she answered her phone and she talked to a person who told her, "You just won a prize. Now there are some things that you need to do in order for us to send you that money." And it came up to her sending that person $130,000. She was very embarrassed to tell someone that that's what she had done. But when she was able to talk about it, she was able to let us know how involved she had gotten. And that's the thing that we have to do, is encourage older adults to talk to their neighbors, their children, their family members. If you go to church, talk to some of the people at church. Don't try to do things on your own. If something strange happens to you, I guarantee you, if you talk to enough people, it's happened to them as well. Some of the other things that we have going on in the system, contractor fraud is pretty big. Why? Who has the money to give someone to do work on their home? Usually older adults. And these contractors, they're not legitimate, most of them are not. But older adults don't know how to vet a person, how to look into whether or not this is a legitimate person that I should hire and come into my home to do the work. And so a lot of them get caught up. And a lot of them are out a lot of money. So those are some of the cases that we end up prosecuting as well. Some of the other scams and the frauds that we go to, that we actually look into, the grandparent. Now, the grandparent scam has been around for I don't know how long, and it still gets people. And I'm not thinking of what it's called, but when some of the ladies they're kind of just like, they need to be with other people, and so they answer the phone, get involved online with someone, and they end up spending a lot of money for a person they have never met, never will meet, and they think they're in a relationship with this person. And then the phone call comes, "I need a few dollars to come and visit you." Well, the few dollars turns into hundreds, maybe thousands. But if you'll just send me that money, I can come visit you and we can keep this relationship going. People are lonely, and I think the pandemic helped out with that. But you know, we blame the pandemic on so many things. Sometimes it's just we have separated ourselves from people. We don't talk as much, thank you, social media. We don't necessarily make a phone call to someone because we can go on Facebook and find them and check them out on there. So we need to start communicating better with each other. And in our older adult population, that's more important, that we do start communicating and encourage them. If you have grandparents, encourage them to talk. Encourage them to talk to you. Sometimes they won't talk to their children. They'll talk to their grandchildren. So encourage them to have a conversation. I would hate to see anyone in this system if they don't have to be. Coming downtown to go to court, this is a new world. coming downtown for someone who has not been here in 20 years. And the district attorney's office was kind enough to afford me the possibility of arranging transportation, and we do that through access in getting older adults back and forth from home to court. And we use that and get them to court. For most of them, telling them to drive downtown and then park, mortgage the house and park downtown, that's a lot of money that they don't have. So it is really, and thank you, Dick, that we are able to get access and get them the transportation they need to make it to court and back. That's important. And as advocates, once they get down to the courthouse, we meet them there, we stay with them through their trials, we talk to them and inform them of what is going on in the courtroom, in the system. And educating them is empowering them. Hopefully, they'll never have to see the system again, but they're not alone, and that's the important thing that we can tell them. They're not alone when they go through this system. And again, I thank you for the teamwork that we have with the district attorney's office, the teamwork that we have at Center for Victims, and we could not do it if we did not have that teamwork. Thank you all.